Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 challenge run. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're doing a curse-only challenge on the Sailor. So we're going to buy only cursed items in the shop, no non-cursed items or weapons. So let's jump in with the Anchor. I recently did this challenge with the Creature, where we were able to use fish hooks to guarantee finding cursed weapons by cursing cursed items by cursing things with a fishhook, but obviously on the Sailor, we're relying on the fact that we start with 25 curse to get us cursed items. So this might take a couple tries, we might have some poor luck and need to re-roll if we just don't find any cursed items early on, but we can probably make that work regardless. Now with the Sailor, of course, we cannot use harvesting, so we need to remember that, and we basically can't use dodge, it's capped at 20%. If we find the ghost outfit, then that actually does set our dodge from 20 to 70, our dodge cap. So we could end up with that being an option if we find a cursed ghost outfit and can buy it, but mostly we're not going to be building dodge either. And what we really need to remember is not to roll for or select harvesting, because obviously that's a strong habit for me, but can backfire on this character. Now normally we'd be very happy to see this Anchor, but it's not cursed, so we're not allowed to buy it. So I'm going to do a couple rerolls here and just look for anything cursed that we can find. And I'll reroll, let's say 2 more times. All right, so we missed a bunch. Let's go to the next wave, and we'll see if we find anything else cursed. I think we were fairly likely to see at least one cursed item or weapon with that number of rerolls, but got a little unlucky there. And like I said, this challenge may require us to do a couple starts just until we find... get a normal distribution of cursed items, but I think it should still be very doable. Alright, so we've got 74 materials, and here I need to not buy the harvesting. I'll take 2 regeneration. Getting early healing will matter a lot. So sad to pass this bag, of course. Oh, also I should be banning stuff. I kind of forgot to do that. So let's go ahead and ban this book, and then we'll roll here, and I'm going to ban dynamite and pencil. And then roll again, and bat we're gonna ban. Even though the minus harvesting doesn't matter, the lifesteal is pretty useless. So then we're gonna roll here. We'll ban charcoal as well. I really just want to ban anything that isn't worth picking up for us. These 2 I can leave in the pool. I'll roll again. And for 7, I guess we're not re-rolling. Alright, so far we haven't been able to buy anything, because we haven't seen a single cursed item. I'm not sure how many rerolls we've done, but it's about 10. And I think our odds of finding a cursed item have to be reasonably good. So I think we are getting fairly poor luck in terms of our item rolls so far. And try to make sure I kill this tree, even if we can't take... We won't be able to take a cursed item, or take an item out of a box if it's not cursed. So yeah, what are our chances of finding... a 5% chance of being cursed, and we've looked at, I don't know, 40, 50 items so far, so we're getting pretty unlucky. I'll take 4 melee damage, and then let's roll, and I will ban the toxic sludge. We might end up with a very weird weapon set, because we're going to buy pretty much any cursed weapon that we find, so I'll leave jelly in the pool, and then I'm going to roll a couple more times here. Okay, we finally found something cursed, so that's a step forward. We're able to buy Corrupted Shard. That's a really good find, because it obviously increases our chance of finding more cursed stuff. And I'll buy the Taser as well. Anything cursed that we can find just matters a lot. And then I'm going to re-roll a few more times. I think I'm just going to re-roll. Okay, nice. We got a Vorpal Sword, so I'm going to lock that. And there we go. I am going to keep our starting weapon, even though it's not cursed, because otherwise this run is just too luck reliant in a really boring way, where if we don't find a cursed, multiple cursed weapons really early, then the run is impossible, so that just doesn't seem that fun. Okay, taking a lot of hits here, so I need to be really careful not to take too much damage and die. I'm going to need more healing as well, because... with our bad weapon set, it's going to be fairly hard for us to avoid taking damage. Here, I guess I'll take 5 luck. That is some healing. And then I'll take 6 max HP. I really want the regeneration as well, but our max HP is horrible. We'll pick up this Vorpal Sword, and then I'll do a reroll and a reroll as well, and still wasn't able to find anything else cursed, but at least we got a third weapon. And a third weapon is kind of the break point for a lot of characters, where they start being able to actually kill stuff regularly. So even with a pretty bad start, I'm feeling like we're in okay shape here, but obviously if we had found a good cursed weapon earlier, then we'd have been a lot happier. The Cursed Vorpal Sword is kind of nice, because that will help us kill elites. Oh, I should also definitely be trying to kill these curse aliens. It's kind of difficult because our damage is fairly low, but obviously we need to boost our curse as much as possible. Here we're going to reroll, and I'll take 10% attack speed. That matters a lot, and then we'll roll again. Blunderbuss is great because it's a naval weapon. It also is just really good at killing a lot of these, at making sure that we can clear enemies much faster. Let's go ahead and ban this boxing glove. So, nice find there. The Sailor does extra damage with naval weapons against cursed enemies, so finding cursed naval weapons is very important. Adding a ranged weapon that's going to do actual damage, because of course the taser doesn't do that much damage, but adding a ranged weapon is a little dangerous for that reason, because we might be killing these, we're going to be popping the pufferfish with ranged weapons and causing the explosion to happen. Nice to get these one-shot kills. See if we can get that tree as well. And we're making a pretty good income each wave. Definitely going to take 2 armor here. The melee damage would also be nice, but armor is really important. A Cursed Scar, this is one of the best possible things we could have found, because a lot of our stats are going to come from levels, so finding a Cursed XP item is really strong. Very sad about the lure here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and ban the scope. We'll never buy this item, and I just want to use all my bans quickly. Okay, sure, we'll take a cursed loot. We pretty much have to buy every cursed weapon that we see, and then we'll roll a few more times. I wish I could get a fish hook. That would make this run so much easier. But a cursed stick and a cursed rip and tear is actually a great way to kill things as well, to make sure that we're able to clear large groups of enemies. So, some pretty nice finds there. The blunderbuss is also especially good for the Sailor because cursed enemies have a higher chance of dropping materials, which means that we are much less likely to run into the problem of just not having a reset on our blunderbuss shots, since there's so many cursed enemies on the field here. I definitely need more defensive stats at this point, and more damage would be really good as well, but there's only so much we can do when our items are somewhat randomized. Making still okay income, especially for a character that can't use harvesting. We're going to recycle the hedgehog here, and then reroll, and do I take an armor? I think I do. We have 5 luck, but that's not enough to reliably find level 2 items. This Cursed Anchor is such a gift. What a find there. And then I'm going to go ahead and buy the Rip and Tear, and we'll leave the stick locked. I will roll once, and yeah, we'll take a Cursed Terrified Onion as well. So now I've got 50 Curse. We're much more likely to find cursed items here. I'm going to still sell the non-Cursed Anchor just for the spirit of the challenge, rather than combine them. So I did, I guess, sell, or I banned Dynamite, and now we have Rip and Tear, but the extra explosion damage wouldn't really matter. Explosion size with Rip and Tear is really important. Explosion damage is much less important, because you'd much rather just increase it by buying melee damage, which we're going to be doing anyways, though I think our weapons will be strong enough, because all our weapons are cursed, and that just gives them a lot of power, even without buying too many offensive stats. We can focus our level ups mostly on defensive stats. Here, I'm going to reroll, and I'll take 4 regeneration. I need more healing, then we'll take 10 more luck. Then we'll buy the Terrified Onion, we'll go ahead and sell this anchor and buy the stick, and then we will reroll. Cursed Candle. So minus 10% enemies hurts a lot, but do we need to buy just every cursed item we see? I think that just reduces our income too much, and I just can't afford to do that. Having to pass all these really strong items here. Okay, so a Cursed Ugly Tooth, that'll be good against these elites. The sword, I will probably buy as well. And I think we will sell out of our taser. Slowing enemies is going to be accomplished by our Ugly Tooth anyways, so the sword, I think, should be pretty good here. I also need more percent damage. The fact that we still have at least 2 naval weapons is helping a lot, because it's allowing us to kill these cursed enemies much faster, even with the sailor's damage penalty. So I need more HP, more armor, more regeneration. Those, I think, are the main stats that I am concerned about at this point. Though, having more offensive power would also be good. But you can see we're not really struggling that much with clearing enemies. What we really need is just more defensive stats so we can survive the upcoming elite waves. And our income is pretty good because we're getting the extra income from killing cursed enemies, even though we have no harvesting. We'll take 3 regen here, and then I'm going to take 15 attack speed over 15 luck, because more attack speed is just going to be really important. We'll go ahead and sell this taser and buy the sword, and then we'll roll. No. Non-cursed Black Flag, so we can't buy it. Doing some more re-rolling here. We are getting very unlucky finding cursed items. Okay, I'll take a cursed celery tea. That's fine. And then I guess I'd better reroll. Amazing. Okay, a cursed fish hook is exactly the type of thing that we want. This gives us a 32% chance of cursing any of these items. So, do I want to lock all of these? I think I just will lock all of these. Rerolling for 36 feels pretty bad, but anything that I can buy that's cursed is such a huge boost to my character. The plant would be especially good, but any of those items we would take. Goblet, cursed especially, is also nice, because it's a lot of healing. So I wanted to make sure I killed that with a melee attack if possible, and then we definitely need to be continuing to boost our curse by killing the curse aliens that pop out of it. If I could get a consumable heal upgrade, that would also be amazing, though obviously that relies on finding one of those cursed specifically. But now that we have a cursed fish hook, we're a lot more able to get that type of thing reliably. Alien Tongue, of course, we have to recycle. I do need more movement speed, so I'll buy that. This is our level 15 upgrade, so let me reroll here. And I think I'm just taking 9 max HP. The melee damage would also be really good, but 31 max HP is really low. Obviously, our fish hook did nothing. Now has a 24% pity bonus. And let's do some rerolling and some more rerolling. Cursed Sharp Tooth. I don't think there's any point in buying that. I think our current weapon set is better. Cursed Plant is a really good find. Then a metal detector as well. Okay, I'm gonna lock the fish hook, even though I don't really love locking things early, but a second cursed fish hook would make this run so much easier. So let's lock fish hook and sword. If I could get another cursed sword, that would be good. Vigilante ring is worth locking as well. And then for 43, I think I'm not going to reroll. I also don't really need the eye patch, so we're not going to lock it. Even if it gets cursed, I don't think it's that exciting. It's probably worth leaving the fishhook locked until it gets cursed. It does cost me a lot of looks for other cursed items, depending on how lucky we get with it, but if we do get it cursed, it's such a big boost to our ability to buy items. I am starting to fall a little bit behind in terms of damage, as you can see here. So I need some percent damage, but I'm feeling a lot better about my defensive stats at this point, so we can focus a little bit more on damage now. I might do one more round of buying mostly defensive stats because we're going into the elite fight next wave, and I want to be able to survive that. So we'll take 4 regen here, and then... Okay, we got the fishhook cursed. We got a cursed corrupted shard. I'm going to unlock these, and then we'll do a reroll. Yeah, we'll take an alien worm. It does hurt a lot to lose consumable healing, but it's a cursed item that we can buy, so we're buying it. Then let's do some rerolling here. Decomposing flesh is pretty good. I'll lock the fishhook as well. A third one of those would matter a lot. We'll lock plant. We'll lock wheat, because all of these damage stats are really good as well. Do I want a slingshot? Our weapon damage is mostly currently being dealt by our blunderbuss, obviously. So I could maybe sell the stick for the cursed slingshot. And if I do that right now, we just get to do that right away. So let's go ahead and make that trade. I don't have any ranged damage. I also just don't think I have the damage and defensive stats to kill the elite. I'll try my damage against it, but yeah. We hit it a few times and did almost nothing. And this elite is very hard to fight as a primarily melee character. So we're just going to avoid it. The ugly tooth is very helpful because it slows it down and makes it just much easier to dodge this elite's attacks. But I want to focus on making money and killing these curse aliens and all that this wave. Okay, gonna take a couple hits there, so we'll have to work our way around the outside. I also need to remember that I bought an alien worm, so our consumable heal is very low. So I can't rely on those as big bursts of healing, which normally you can do when you start taking a lot of damage. You can run to consumables that are on the ground, and that'll keep you safe. Okay, I took one hit at the end there, but still not bad. I'll take 4 melee damage, and then, great, we got at least a couple items cursed. It's not the one that we wanted the most, but this extra damage is so huge. Even though the harvesting is wasted, 6 curse is great, and 6 melee and 4 range damage is amazing. So we'll buy those. Cursed power generator would be really good, so I'll lock that as well. Rock gives me +2 armor, so I could sell... I'm not actually sure what I would sell here. I do want the armor, I think. I think I want it more than the sword. Although we then lose the blade and medieval tag, because we currently have 2 medieval weapons. Loot is nice because the debuff is really good, and we don't have the support weapon tag. Oh, support weapon doesn't matter anyways, because we're the sailor. I want to keep the anchor and the blunderbuss for sure. Slingshot is going to be really good, especially because now we have decomposing flesh, so we're going to be getting extra lifesteal. So I think it is actually the loot that we sell here. It feels a little bad to lose the debuff there, but buying 2 armor just is so helpful. And then I'll lock all these items because we have double fishhook, so we want to get that as quickly as possible. Yeah, you can see, even though we can't use the harvesting, you can see how much value we're getting out of having the wheat here, increasing our damage output. And I'll let the gobbler pick up some materials. It multiplies the value of materials it picks up, and I think our damage is high enough that we should be able to kill it, even if we let it get to stage 3 pretty easily. Ow. Okay. Cursed enemy is still pretty dangerous, of course. I gotta make sure that mini-boss doesn't hatch, because that could get us in a lot of trouble. And then I'm gonna go over here and finish off the gobbler, pick up those materials that it's eaten. These cursed goblin sharks are really spooky. Only having a damage multiplier with a few of our weapons is pretty painful. Losing 5 max HP hurts. We can't use dodge that effectively, but 15 speed is really good. Let me check my fish hooks. So we have no pity bonus. That means something got cursed. We don't know what, but it could be the power generator. So I will take the jetpack. I think that could be a lot of % damage if the power generator got cursed. And then lifesteal is pretty good with our blunderbuss and slingshot. I think I'm going to roll again, though, and I'll roll one more time. I really want armor or HP. Wow, this is really bad. I guess I have to reroll here. Yeah, I'll take 15 attack speed, and then I'll pick up an armor. Power generator and fishhook both got cursed. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Don't think we need either of these specifically, so we'll unlock them. Alien magic I'm going to lock, and then we'll roll again. Corrupted shard is probably worth locking, because it's so good if we get it cursed, and then we'll roll again, and I'll lock a blood leech as well. We already got rid of one cursed loot, so we don't need to get another one. As we do have the Vorpal Sword, so I could have maybe hoped for that to one-shot the Elite in the previous wave, but it's just so dangerous with all these cursed enemies on the field to get your health low, because the amounts of damage that you take are just so high. We are coming up on level 20, thanks to having gotten the Celery Tea and Scar, so we'll be able to get a 9 HP level up or a 3 armor level up there, at least. And my healing stats are very good at this point. Honestly, I think this run is doable in a fairly straightforward way. We got really unlucky with our opening shops, and we're still fairly strong here. Not that we're guaranteed to win or anything, but if you can imagine that if we had found a cursed weapon, 3 shops earlier, or any cursed items 3 shops earlier, we would be significantly stronger at this point. And we'll take 3 armor here. Yep, we'll definitely take all of these cursed items. Oh, I guess not the blood leech, because I can't afford it. I could try to curse this rocket launcher. It is a pretty powerful weapon, but I think if I'm going to try to curse anything, it would be a naval weapon, so I'm going to re-roll a couple times. We'll buy the cursed helmet, and I'll lock the small fish. We have 35 regen as well. We can buy a cursed weird ghost. I do need more max HP. Alright, so here I think we might be able to try to kill the Elite, or at least try to one-shot it. We have a 2% chance of one-shotting it every time we hit it with the Vorpal Sword. And our damage is high enough and our defenses are high enough now that I think we are much more able to risk fighting the Elite, especially because this is a much easier to fight Elite than the last one with a mostly melee build. Nice, and we one-shot it, so that was convenient. Saved me a little bit of attacking there. Trying to make sure that we clear every curse alien that we possibly can, because in order to buy more items, we need more curse. And we are getting some dodges with our 10% dodge. A seashell would be pretty nice if we were allowed to buy it. I could take 9 speed. We do have power generator, and it's a cursed power generator, so that's a lot of extra % damage. But I think I still just need the armor. And then we'll go ahead and buy all of these cursed items for extra stats. We'll roll here. None of those are cursed. Barnacle is probably worth locking even this late. A cursed Barnacle is just so powerful for this build, so I'm going to lock it with our fish hooks. And then we'll do a couple more rerolls, and another one, and I guess one more here. I'll lock the Power Fist. I don't think this is a particularly good weapon for us, but it's still probably worth grabbing, and we'll lock the Butterfly as well. We have no way to set enemies on fire, so the Spoon isn't particularly good. Of course, we killed that cursed Stargazer, and it dropped no materials. which is unlikely because it's a cursed enemy. But these things do happen. I almost pushed that one into the tower, and if you push them on top of a tower, even if it's not the one that they are heading to, they do still start turning into mini-bosses. Go ahead and work our way around the outside here, because all of the curse aliens will spawn on the outer edge of the map on wave 16, and we still need to boost our curse as much as possible. I'm gonna kill this tree, get a curse alien kill, and we're making a lot less money than you normally would, of course, at this point, because you can't use harvesting on this character, but I'm still feeling pretty good about it. Okay, so we got a lot of cursed items here. So what do I want first? I'm gonna take the barnacle first, because that's, and I guess that makes it easy, because we'll just buy the barnacle and the butterfly. I do think that the Vorpal Sword and the Power Fist are both worth buying, so I'll re-roll here. Explosion Size actually pretty good for this character, so I'm just going to lock this whole shop. Because we have Explosion Size, we have our Rip and Tear, so Explosion Size is actually quite good for that. And we're going to buy a Power Fist as well, so Explosion Size will be nice for that also. The main downside of Power Fist, it's a very high damage weapon, but the explosion is tiny and it's melee and very short range, so the actual explosive component of Power Fist doesn't do anything most of the time. It just ends up being a higher damage fist, which is still a powerful weapon, but not quite what you kind of expect when you first read it. I think a lot of people overvalue that weapon as a result. It's good for some builds, but it's not as powerful as some of the other tier 3 plus weapons. So we only made 500 materials there. Let's re-roll here and re-roll again. Okay, 9 melee damage, that's great. And then we did get everything cursed. What is my total percent chance of cursing? So that's 57, and we have another fishhook here. So that's 89%. So we're fairly likely to get everything cursed when we buy it. I think the sword can probably turn into a Vorpal sword. I think I'd rather just have 2 of those. And then our blunderbuss has got to stay. The rock has to stay because it's giving us armor, and I think that's more important than damage. The anchor I could get rid of. It would cost me a curse. I can't buy both of these items in this shop, but I'm just thinking about how we're going to set up our weapon set. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sell the sword, buy the Vorpal sword, we'll buy the plastic explosive, and then we'll do a reroll, and then we'll probably sell the slingshot for the Power Fist. Beanie, I guess, is worth locking. Bait is worth locking as well. Percent damage is important. Cursed bait is a little dangerous because it secretly well, I'm glad I bought the Vorpal sword. That was great. Cursed bait is a little bit dangerous because it doesn't tell you this in the item description, but it does increase the number of lampreys that spawn. So cursed bait is more dangerous than it looks, but this character is strong enough that we can deal with that, even though a bunch of them will spawn cursed. I don't think that will put us in too much danger. You can see also the explosion size is really impacting how much damage our Rip and Tear is doing. It's actually having much more of an effect on... Oh, okay, I need to be really careful here. We do have good healing, but I took a bunch of hits from cursed enemies in a row. Sloppy movement there, for sure. I need to find that loot alien. Where did it go? It's in the middle. So I missed out on killing the loot alien because I took 3 hits in a row there. I definitely can't afford to get too cocky, even though we one-shot the elite. The number of cursed enemies on the field is still really high, so I still need to be really careful. Alright, so we'll buy the Power Fist, and I think I will still sell the slingshot for it. It is doing a lot of our damage, but that's just because it's a ranged weapon, so So it's spreading out its damage. It's not actually doing efficient damage most of the time. And let's leave the bait locked. And no, we're going into wave 19. I don't want to bait on wave 20, so I'll just roll here. We'll lock a cauldron, and we'll roll again. Lock a Vorpal Sword and a metal plate. Those are all good items to lock. And then we'll go to wave 19 here. Losing the slingshot did also cost me some max health, because it was a primitive weapon. So it does hurt to lose out on that loot alien kill, but sometimes you take some hits, and you just have to give up on a wave objective. If we get another Vorpal Sword, that will also help a lot with the bosses. The safest way for us to kill the bosses is just going to be to one-shot them. Gonna make my way through the center here. Having no consumable heal on a mostly melee character as well is also pretty dangerous. That's why you can see that we're having trouble maintaining our health, because normally on this type of character, you would have picked up a bunch of consumable heal and would be able to just run into the middle of enemies and reliably heal back. But because we have -1, that's hurting us quite a bit. I'm just going to take 12 melee damage here. I could roll for armor, maybe. Actually, I think I do want to roll for armor. Yeah, 6 armor is going to make such a huge difference in how easily we can survive. I don't need the naval weapon specifically anymore, so I could sell the anchor, but anchor just does so much damage per shot. I could sell the rock, I could sell the power fist, but it is a lot of our damage. I definitely want the Vorpal Sword. Losing 2 armor hurts, but I think the best thing here is going to be to sell the rock, because Vorpal Sword is going to be such a big increase to our chance of... this 4% Vorpal Sword is such a huge increase to our chance of one-shotting. And then we can also get 3 items, and we can make up the armor by buying the metal plate as well. So I think this is the best setup for us. The Blunderbuss, Power Fist, and Anchor all do a ton of damage, so even if we are unlucky and don't get the one-shots, our Vorpal Sword, our actual weapon damage should still be high enough to kill the elites. Alright, can we get a one-shot here? Got a bunch of 4% chances, but, you know, we saw how a bunch of 5% chances went earlier. Okay, nice. We one-shot the actually dangerous boss as well. Or the more dangerous of the two, anyways. Don't worry, Snailian. You're still dangerous in our hearts, but Whalian is the real threat. And then we were able to kill both of those. So that was really fun. Honestly, I recommend this challenge quite a bit. It does take a little bit of luck at the beginning. You do need to start the cursed item train rolling. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I bought the jetpack. It wasn't cursed. Oh, no, I completely didn't notice. Okay, well, that was definitely cheating. I thought that was cursed. Well, I'm sure people have been really mad about this one for a while in the comments, so I apologize for that one. I did not notice that the jetpack wasn't cursed until I looked at this. Obviously an accident, so bear with me here. But I'm still pretty happy with how this run went. I don't think that the jetpack made a significant difference in how the run went. I mean, it did help with the power generator, so it gave us a lot of % damage. So honestly, it would have been a lot harder if I hadn't gotten this item, but I think we still would have gotten there. So I don't think that's the end of the world, but obviously it does hurt to have accidentally broken the challenge. Well, sorry about that, friends, but nevertheless, I recommend this challenge. I think it's pretty fun. It does take a little bit of luck at the beginning, but you can make it work, especially if you cheat. And if you do find fish hooks, it makes it easier as well, but I don't think those are necessary for the challenge. Just buying every cursed item is so powerful in Brotato in general that this challenge should be pretty doable. All right, my friends, hope that you enjoyed this run, even though I did cheat during it. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato, hopefully with less breaking the challenge rules, and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.